Well, this ought to be interesting. This is a public comment calling out horrific censorship agenda of Pennsbury School Board. Don't know where that is. It's in Pennsylvania, so we're going to check this out in a second, huh? Whoa, hey, it's Matt Criscuolo coming to you up close and personal. This should be fun and interesting. You know, I do mostly reaction videos on music videos and stuff like that, but I like to check out politics and things about religion and politics and stuff like that too. So I'm kind of folding in some of those videos. So here's one of them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, by the way. Please stay in touch, and let's get right to this, shall we? What is this all about?
Simon Campbell.
I'm not a big fan of censorship, and I guess this is what this is going to be about. An issue of censorship, at least according to this guy named Simon Campbell.
Simon Campbell, 1571 Brookfield Road, Lower Makefield Township. I'm a Pennsbury School District resident, Pennsbury School District taxpayer.
Okay.
I'm also a former member of the Governing Board of Directors, 2009 to 2013. It's nice to see the old faces. I'm here to speak today. I believe, Gary, you said it was item KKK in the agenda book. Well, isn't that just a perfect summation of what it is I'm here to talk about? KKK, your proposed new school board policy, seeking once again to limit the constitutionally protected speech of American citizens. Now, when I sat on this school board, I believe some of you old-timers might remember this. A union guy spoke at public comment for 5 minutes and ripped me a new one. He called me the bastard child of Margaret Thatcher. And I sat there and I said to myself, okay, fair enough. Welcome to America. He considers me a bastard because I'm in the government. His logic is sound. Now,
so far, everything this guy said, I agree with. He sounds like a well-spoken, intelligent, articulate guy. I don't have anything to object from what he said. That's my point of view, just by the way, FYI.
What happened was the superintendent and the school solicitor at the time freaked out and they didn't put the tape online the next day. And I called them up and I said, get the tape online now before we get sued for censorship. I yelled at the solicitor and I asked him what law school he went to, because it was clearly constitutionally protected rhetorical hyperbole. I can cite the case if you'd like. And I said to Paul Long, the superintendent at the time, don't ever cut the tape again, Paul. And by the way, bastard child of Margaret Thatcher, I took it as a compliment. Now, you snowflakes apparently have a bigger problem with public comment. It seems to me that you think you can supersede the United States Constitution. Well, I've got news for you, School Board President Benito Mussolini. Your power does not supersede that of the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment rights of the citizens of this great nation. Let's be very, very clear who has the power.
Mr.
It is
Campbell,
not government policy. Do not warn me or do not interrupt my time.
That if you
interrupt my
make
time,
personal insults like that again, or if you personally direct your comments, you will be asked to step away from the podium.
I'm going to quote to you,
again, make your
solicitor.
comments,
I'm
but
quoting,
do not
just
do
a minute. Do
name
not
calling
talk
like
over
you
me.
just did.
This is my...
You know what, man? I hate to say it. And I don't know the context, and I don't want to, jump to conclusions. And I will admit that maybe I'm wrong. But right now, whoever is speaking to this guy in the white shirt, telling him to simmer down, basically, because he's out of line and that he's not saying anything ad hominem. That guy to me sounds like a big pussy. He used the word snowflake. That's a nice way of putting it. I think the guy's a big pussy. Now, I wouldn't say that to him right there on this. If I were in the guy with the white shirt, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be offensive like that. But between you and I, that's some pussy shit right there, man. I don't like that at all. It particularly bothers me because this guy here in the white shirt, he's just being outspoken and actually, saying some things that are actually true. The other guy is just trying to, deflect and push him off. That's my opinion, because this guy is not out of line. If he's out of line, according to that guy, that's the other guy there who's telling him to simmer down and pipe down. He's not the kind of guy that I'd like to have a beer with and hang out with and talk with. I can tell you that, because he sounds like a big baby.
My comment, not your comment. I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the US Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment.
I agree with him completely. Now, I don't know what brought them to this point and what was allegedly censored by this school board. But even if you take the example that he first presented, where last time when he was on the board that he was getting chewed out and they tried to censor that, if it's anything like that, well then, this guy is still right, in my opinion. And I don't even think it's a matter of my opinion. I think it's a constitutional tenet. Anyway.
And I will caution you, solicitor. There is a video camera to my left. If you edit this tape, then you're going to have a big legal problem on your hands, because my right to critique your fascism, which is what this is constitutionally protected. There are emails, public record emails, in which the Director of Equity is lobbying and advocating for public comment to be censored in this school district. And you know what? Lobbying for it, advocating for it. We've got the school board president saying she'll do better at hitting the mute button in blatant violation of the Constitution. For her lobbying and her advocacy of unconstitutional censorship, I want you, the school board, to terminate the employment of Dr. Charissa Gibson with immediate effect.
Amen. I agree. These people who have power in these municipalities like that, they have to understand the responsibility that they have. But instead, they do this kind of bullshit like censoring and throwing their power around and hitting the mute button and all that other stuff. What a bunch of babies. Seriously, they should be fired or resign or something like that.
Terminated her employment, I want all of you to tender your resignations for hating on this country. We have a God-given constitutional right to critique you, and we can speak in any lawful tone that we see fit. And don't go looking around, Benito, because this is the United States of America. You have a good... one more thing. I'm going to make a verbal request right now for an unedited copy of the tape. So if any of you delete it, you're going to have a big legal problem. Good night.
Good for him. Good for him. God. Good for him. And if you disagree with me and you disagree with him, awesome. Awesome. I mean, I disagree with you, but that's okay, because I will fight to support your right to have your opinion and to disagree with me. But I am curious to know what it is that you disagree about. Tell me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy's wrong. I know that we don't want to oversimplify the situation, because I don't know exactly what was the issue here. So I mean, I'm not gonna die on this hill. You know what I mean? I don't know. But if we assume that it's about censorship, and like the way this guy here, Simon Campbell, says, well, I got news for you. I personally don't see anything wrong, but only see things right about what he just said. And the reason why another reason why I have that opinion is because I do have to deal with municipalities and regulations and zoning and rules like that. I agree with them. I think they're important to have. I disagree with that. It keeps people doing the right thing. I agree with that. That's not my point. However, censorship by a municipality like this, that's overstepping, in my opinion. That's no longer about keeping people safe, or making sure that somebody doesn't build a house made out of paper mache, or makes a fire hazard or something like that. That's not about that anymore. That's different. This is different. This is about freedom of speech and what the Constitution says we have the right, and being careful not to go down a slippery slope where, you know, people in city officials can censor us. That's not appropriate. That's not good. That's very bad, in my opinion. Am I wrong? You tell me what you think. Hey, look, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And you take it easy. And if it's real easy, take it twice.